health. And what you have said is so true that, sometimes our mental health is not in our hands and we need to bring the awareness. So coming to the mental health of Mumbai, I think Mumbai is, we say that Mumbai is a city that never sleeps. And one of the reasons is that people are so busy trying to cope with their lives. I remember once I had a guest from out of Mumbai, and he said, you Mumbaikars want to earn a lot of money, and that is why you all are running around the whole day. And incidentally, it was 10 o'clock at night, and he had a headache. So he said, can I get a paracetamol? And, we did not have the medication in the house. So I said, don't worry, I'll call for it. At 10:30, 11, I called the chemist, who gladly came and dropped the paracetamol to my house. So I told him, I said, do you think this chemist made any more money by giving you this strip of paracetamol at this time? He said, no. I said, then why do you think he's doing it? Because he wants to be in competition. He wants me to go back to him. So Mumbai is a city where it's like being on a treadmill, where you have to be constantly running, constantly on the go just to survive. A lot of factors. One is, of course, there is a high cost of living. Two is the most adventurous, the most ambitious people come to our city. Of course, there are reasons for that. We feel safe in our city. Our safety index is probably higher. But just living day to day, just when people travel in the trains, there's been a lot of discussion about the trains, hopefully they're starting today for the vaccinated. But people, just to survive, have to go from one end to the other end to make their basic salary. Health, we need our health institutions to become better. We have seen the pandemic, but if we look at the dismal health situation in our city, yes, we've all gone through COVID last 1.5 years. And while we were trying to help people during the COVID, when night time would come, I would start getting anxiety saying, I hope nobody needs a bed in this city. I hope no one needs an injection. We need to make our health systems better. We need to make our hospital systems better. And health is not complete without mental health, as Gudia has so beautifully put. We also need to understand the importance of mental health. So right from spending, the government has to improve health systems. We need to pay attention to the mental health. And when we talk about mental health, you are looking at, and Mumbai is a city where you have skyscrapers and slums in the same vicinity. We must see whether the happiness index of the skyscrapers is better than that of the slums. And let me tell you, it may both be low because we are in a city of dreams. People also want to be the best. So our teenagers get hooked on to social media, want to look good, want to feel good, and they are struggling. Our senior citizens are struggling because of loneliness. Our young couples are struggling because they do not have privacy. So let's see how together we can work on these simple things. And yes, let's start in schools. Let's start rewarding people for happiness. I remember the first prize I ever got in my life was for the happiest baby when I was 2.5 years of age. I don't know why we are not encouraging kids to be happy. Because instead of, I'm not saying ranks are not important. Of course, ranks are important. But happiness is more than that. So let's start small by valuing what we have, and let's start by spending some time devoted to happiness every day in our families. Let's start playing games. Let's start showing gratitude for small things. And as Auntie Primla said, let's start giving, because there is no joy more than giving. Definitely what we hear, what we see has an effect on us. Of course, we can choose to ignore ignorance, as Disha explained so beautifully, and as even Pribla auntie said, that, we can choose to ignore. But what happens is, for them also, it is survival of the fittest. And somewhere negative news sells more than positive news. But if we all can choose today that, yes, we want to choose happiness, we want to choose positivity, we can also start looking at positive news. There's enough of positive news happening around us, but the fact is that because it doesn't sell, it is not circulated. Even if you look at WhatsApp messages, which get circulated so fast, because there is something negative in that. So this is a personal choice that we will have to make, that, we will be surrounded by negativity, but let us choose to ignore that, and let us choose to push positivity. Let us choose to smile even in adversity, and let us also accept, why do we expect a life without problems? If we accept कि हाँ कुछ तो होने वाला है, why am I expecting a straight line? Straight line तभी होती है when there is no ECG. That's a flat line. So if there is a movement on a daily basis, if a heart is beating, with every heartbeat, there is a wave which goes up and wave which comes down. And yes, let us see the beauty around us. As Gudiya explained so beautifully, nature is so beautiful. And as Gudiya was talking, we could hear her little doggy in the background trying to say something, that yes, pets can also make us feel happy, because they are the only ones who give without any expectation. So let us choose to do a little bit, maybe for the bird who comes to our balcony, who needs water or a little food, or a stray animal. It's raining and he's coming to you, to your house, and saying, just give me some shelter. Let's look around us and see. And of course, who better than senior citizens who have lived their life? And earlier, when the first wave of the pandemic, we thought that the senior citizens will suffer. And what did we learn is that they were the ones who are resilient. And it is the juniors who are suffering because they are going inwards. So I think we need to get out. We need to step out of our rooms, of our indoor spaces, which Disha did so beautifully. And as parents and grandparents, we need to set examples for them. So even if there is negative news, let's say TV बंद करो, कुछ अच्छा देखते हैं, कुछ खेलते हैं,